Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here with a little bit of Power Rangers toy news. Some sort of unexpected, interesting Power Rangers toy news about these new Power Rangers Megazords that Hasbro is releasing. They're not like combinable Megazords, they're not Lightning Collection Megazord figures, they're these kind of weird 7-inch retro Megazord figures. They're starting off with 4 of them. They're 7 inches, so about, an inch bigger than the regular Lightning Collection scale, so they're not going to be like the scale of that Zeo Megazord, but we're getting the Dino Megazord, the Thunder Megazord from mmpr Season 2, not the Ninja Storm one. We're getting NinjaCon, the red Ninja repaint that Bandai did back during Ninja Storm, and we're getting the Galaxy Megazord from Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. No, just kidding, Lost Galaxy. So, these are weird releases. I feel like there's immediately going to be toxic people that are like foaming at the mouth over this, which is why I try not to look at any of the reactions before my video. But I find these to be kind of harmless, if not a bit strange. Like, on the positive side, I actually kind of dig the way some of them look. I think, admittedly, the Thunder Megazord looks a little strange, its proportions look a little off, and the bottom half lacks paint. These aren't the most detailed in the world, but I don't need every little detail. I think some people lose their minds over insignificant details, but his legs look naked. And I think NinjaCon's a weird release, kind of funny, because it's not something that was in the show. Again, they repainted the old Ninja toy back during Ninja Storm, and this was a Bandai thing. This certainly opens up the door, potentially, for us to get releases of things that Bandai did that were exclusives, like repaints and stuff, which could be kind of funny. Like, it just seems funny to me because it was a Bandai exclusive, and also because they're going for this whole retro shtick. And then, why not just do Ninja then? Not that I'm complaining, because it makes for kind of a funny and unique release, but it just seems funny that you're like, retro, Bandai 2003. Like, if you're already going for the mmpr thing, why not just go Ninja? It just, again, it's not a mad thing, it's just a funny thing. But those are a bit odd. And again, this is our 100th release of the Dino Megazord, but I think the Dino Megazord and the Galaxy Megazord actually look pretty good proportion-wise. Like, their paint, it's not perfect, but it looks a little bit better than the Thunder Megazord, and I think that they're one of those, or 2 of those figures, rather, that look a little bit more like the suit than we get more often than not, which is kind of cool. I kind of dig that, so I'm actually kind of eager to see what these look like. And again, their whole shtick is like, hey, remember VHSs and retro? This is like reliving that. So they have this like, elongated packaging, and then it has like this VHS bit, which is just, that's what I don't get. That's my only thing. Like, I get what they're going for, but why? It's just weird. It reminds me of a little bit the retro Morphin figures, because they're replicating the Auto Morphin, but they're also redoing them. And it also reminds me of the Super 7, those figures on a card that they do not just for Power Rangers, but for other ones that are based off of like old 80s, 90s figures, the 3.75-inch scale. Which, it's a nostalgic scale, which is weird to say. But that's like, an old type of figure, and they made Star Wars like that for years. They still make Star Wars like that. And Star Wars will re-release figures in that style, which makes sense. Because it's like, hey, remember the figures that released back in A New Hope? Here's a reprint. But these ones are like, hey, remember this figure that never existed? And that's what this feels like. Hey, are you nostalgic for this VHS packaging that never existed? Like, again, this isn't a mad thing. It's just funny. Because it's like, is this the Mandela effect, except no one remembers it. It's like Kazam, Bernstein Bears thing, but nobody remembers it. It's like the Mandela effect, but no one remembers it. It's just weird. That's the only thing that weirds me out. It just puzzles me, because they could easily go for some other retro things. Like, they could package these in the style of the old boxes, because clearly they have the ability to, because with the retro figures, they package them in the old Automorphin style, which is actually kind of cool for ones like Ranger Slayer and Ninja, because we didn't get those back in the day. So, like, I could see them packaging these like the old releases, which would be cool, and actually hit a nostalgia button that exists. So, that's the only thing that weirds me out about it. Like, I'm sorry to go on about it, but I care less about complaining about the paint of the figures. I want to get to the bottom of this nostalgia for things that never existed thing. But I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see these in person. I'm kind of excited, not excited, let's take about 20% off. But I'm looking forward to seeing what these look in person, because like I said, Galaxy and Dino look actually kind of interesting, and it is kind of a bit of a weird one to go for. Like, if it were me, I would almost rather have a 7-ish inch Lightning Collection figure that was more detailed, but we'll see. There's nothing to get mad over, guys, although I'm sure people still will. But what do you guys think of these? What do you think of this weird movement of nostalgic packaging for things that never actually existed? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.